So let's try to connect the circuits that you might need. So first, let's start simple. Let's do DC supply and connect to one resistor. So as you remember, we can just trace the schematic with the physical equipment. So the positive connect to one end of a ammeter right here, and the other end of ammeter go to the one end of the resistor. The other end of the resistor go back to the power supply, like that. Next, let's try the voltmeter ones. The positive connect to one side of the resistor. The other side connect back to the power supply. Change it back to DC. One side of the DC voltage is connect to one side of the resistor. The other side of the voltmeter, connect to the other side of the resistor, like that. Now let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's try the resistors in series. So the negative side of the DC supply connect to one side of the resistor. Across this resistor, once this side of the resistor connect to the other side, the side of the other resistor. Across this resistor, we connect back to the positive. Now let's add the voltmeter. So the one side of the voltmeter connect to the first R1, the first resistor. Across this resistor, we connect to the other side with a voltmeter. That's how we get this one. So this one is only have a subtle difference between the previous one. We only need to change the position of the voltmeter. So let's disconnect this voltmeter and connect across the other one. So one side of the voltmeter connect to the one side of this resistor. The other side of the voltmeter connect to across this resistor, which is here. Let's measure the voltage of both. So we keep this. Basically, that's the circuit right now. So we want to measure across both resistors. So it's the end of this side and the end of that side across the resistor. You can see first resistor, wire, second resistor. So those are the two pins you want to plug into, like such. Now, let's try to deal with the parallel. So, you know the drill from positive. So let's first ignore the ammeter. Basically, what I mean by ignore the ammeter is just replace ammeter with wire. So basically, think this is a wire. So now it's positive, connect to one side of a resistor, R1. That one is, so the one above is R1. Across R1, we're going back to negative. So similarly, from the positive to the other side of the R2. So side of R2. And other side of R2 back to negative, like this. So now we complete the circuit. Now we need to add our ammeters in there. So amp is the left and middle. And turn the knob. Now it's ammeter. So we want to measure the current across here. Basically, the current flowing from here to here, right? So basically, you can think my hand is an imaginary wire. I want to measure the current across this imaginary wire. So what we want to do is connect those two pins with ammeter, like that. So one side and the other side. Now we finish this one. The easiest way to reset it back to the thing without ammeter is basically disconnect the ammeter and remember those two, where those two were at, and connect those two. Two were not connected. Like that. So let's try another one. So we need to measure the current across R2. So which is the current across this wire? So we simply need to replace this wire. Remember, we connected here, here, and there. So we need to replace this wire with both sides of the ammeters, like such. So now let's try the last one. It's almost identical to the last one we did. Let's recover back to the normal parallel without any ammeter. So let's just replace this wire with ammeter, which is replace this wire, and remember connect the R2 back to the circuit like that, and connect those wire ammeters with basically replace this ammeters with the wire that we just missed. And that is all the circuits that you may need for this discovery lab. Have fun with this lab.